Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom One, and I am Brock with another video. You know what you got to do: rate, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know when my next video or live stream goes down. Also, follow me on Snapchat as well as IG at I'm Chris the Dom One, Twitter at I'm Chris the Dom One, Twitch I'm Chris the Dom One Gaming. You get what I'm coming from. Let's get into this. I talked about this briefly this morning, and unfortunately, Sam Presti and the Oklahoma City organization are at a crossroads. They know that they can't compete with the current format of teams that are competing for a championship, not only for this upcoming season, but seasons to come. For like the next 5 years, I already told you guys that there's a possibility where you're going to see maybe 4 to 5 different NBA teams win the chip. And one of those teams are going to be on the outside looking in is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Even with Paul George, they had no way of competing with the Utah Jazz, the Portland Trail Blazers they used the draft to get players and sign key free agents. You know, when you talk about the Utah Jazz and the Portland Trail Blazers, when you look at the Los Angeles Clippers and the Lakers, they're building a great team that's going to compete and contend for a championship. We look at the Golden State Warriors, they're not going nowhere. We look at the San Antonio Spurs, they're not going nowhere either. And I haven't even talked about the Houston Rockets or the Dallas Mavericks. They're not going as well. You know, they're not going nowhere as well. As well as you got the Phoenix Suns, as well as the Sacramento Kings. One of those teams they're going to be contending as far as going into the playoffs. Okay, so that leaves poor Oklahoma City Thunder. They have no salary cap room. Do you think Russell can go to the LA Lakers? No, because they don't have enough money. They don't have enough money on their salary in their cap where they can fit Russell Westbrook. The only way they will be able to do that and this is not going to happen by any stretch of the imagination, getting rid of possibly LeBron James' contract, which is not going to happen. Russell Westbrook is not going to the LA Clippers. Now, there was a possibility that Russell Westbrook as well as Paul George was in a package to be shipped to the Clippers. And that deal ultimately fell through because of the simple fact that they got Kawhi Leonard. And one of the reasons why Kawhi Leonard chose the Clippers was because they was able to get Paul George. They're good friends. When you look at their style, they fit, they complement one another. But Russell Westbrook is going to be looking, like I said this morning, Russell Westbrook is going to be looking for another team. Okay. There's not a lot of teams that fit his contract, by the way. I talked this morning about the possibility, more than likely Sam Presti is going to give Russell Westbrook an option to pick his team, but Sam Presti at the end of the day has to take care of the Oklahoma City Thunder organization, making sure that you get something back in return. I thought that there's a scenario and a possibility that you can see Russell Westbrook with the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks have the cap. I mean, their salary cap, they can fit Russell Westbrook's contract. Now there's another team out east, and I feel like the only way they're going to do it, they're going to have to move around some parts. They're basically going to have to give up a lot. They'll have to give up most of their core team that they done drafted through the years, and that's the Toronto Raptors. But in order for that to happen, in order for that to orchestrate, they will have to have a third team, and they're going to have to, or give some assets to the Oklahoma City Thunder. But the Oklahoma City Thunder are not looking for contracts. They're looking for draft picks to build for the future. Obviously, this is not their time, okay? Their time came and left, okay? When they had James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant, they had an opportunity to contend for years and years to come. And when those two players went to the Rockets and went to the Golden State Warriors, that put the Oklahoma City Thunder for at least a couple of years at a stalemate until they got the opportunity to trade for Paul George. And Paul George didn't last that long when you think about it. When he obviously went back to California. He's going back to Cali. Do anyone remember that viral video that Paul George made before they ultimately trade him to the Oklahoma City Thunder? And he gave Oklahoma City Thunder a shot, an opportunity. But if you look at their roster, they can't add more to Russell Westbrook's contract and Paul George's contract. They're pretty much stuck in neutral. And they can't upgrade what they have to contend and compete with these teams. So the logical conclusion for them is to fall back and rebuild and try this thing over again 5 or 6 years down the road. Okay, so they got enough draft picks from the Clippers, but are those picks are going to be worth anything to where you can probably package them to get closer into the top 5 in the first round? Or is the draft going to be deep enough to where you can just your picks and then draft, whatever you select? The Clippers are not going to be bottom feeders. They're going to be they're going to be contending for a championship. So these picks are really not going to amount to anything until Paul George gets older, until Kawhi Leonard gets older, which I don't see them. They're still in their prime, and I don't see them falling off for like at least 5 to 6 years. So clearly they're going to have to move Russell Westbrook because his contract is enormous. I want to remind people, his contract is big. It's no joke. They're going to need 3 teams for this to happen. And they're going to need a team with plenty salary cap flexibility. And the New York Knicks is one of those possibilities. If Toronto wants to get in the mix, they don't have a lot of salary cap relief to sign and plug in a Russell Westbrook, meaning that they're going to have to get a third team and unload some of the players that they already have on their roster. And those, if the Toronto Raptors keep what they have now, they can contend for to go into the playoffs. And then it's anybody's ball game once you get into the playoffs. So they're obviously going to give Paul George an opportunity to contend for a title. But the problem is there's not a lot of teams out there that's contending with a lot of salary cap relief. The majority of teams that are contending for the playoffs, they don't really have a lot of salary cap room to fit that type of contract. So more than likely, he's probably going to go to a team that that has plenty of salary cap room, and they're not even on the cuffs of competing for a chip. I think Russell Westbrook, there's a possibility that he can go to the New York Knickerbockers. There's a possibility that he can go. There's a possibility that he can possibly go to Indiana, but they're going to have to give up Oladipo, or they're going to have to give up somebody else. There's a possibility that he can go to the Bulls. I think the Bulls have enough salary cap relief to get Russell Westbrook. He's definitely going out east. He's not going west. Okay, you can forget the San Antonio Spurs, they don't have enough money. The Phoenix Suns are not going to give up their young talent for Russell Westbrook. And same could be said for the Sacramento Kings. And, you know, there's really not a lot of teams in the West that really need the services of a Russell Westbrook. There's plenty of teams. Here's one team, and I was scared to mention this team, the Detroit Pistons, but they're going to need a third team to do it, and they're going to have to unload Blake Griffin's contract to fit Russell Westbrook. So this article, I pulled this. I forgot the website. I'll put the link in the description of the website. But I was talking about this first this morning, and I just wanted to share the. There's a he's not going to get traded before the trade deadline of this up and coming NBA season, but he will be traded after the conclusion of this upcoming season. And you're going to start hearing whispers from a lot of suitors to the next free agent class of next summer. And that's going to be one of those big names that's going to be out there, that a team with a lot, you're going to see a lot of teams dump a lot of salary just to get the opportunity for Russell Westbrook. You know, because you have to look at it. He's a star. He's got a brand name, and you know, if you pair him up with depends on what you have on your roster, that's an opportunity that you can contend with Russell Westbrook. Okay, so that's all I got to say. I just wanted to throw that out there to you guys. Guys, you know what you got to do: rate, comment, subscribe, hit the like button. Really support this channel. I really do appreciate the people who do hit the like button. I really do appreciate the people who do share the content. Share it with your friends, family, and followers. I have an announcement that I'm probably going to be making no later than Tuesday. And I'm going to do a real quick live stream to explain it to you guys on Tuesday. But it's your boy. I appreciate you watching me, homeboy. It's your boy. I'm Chris Don One, and I am out of here. Deuces, y'all. Y'all have a lovely Saturday.